My name is Ovinuchi Ejiohuo. You could just call me Ovi. Kingsley know I've had extensive experience working as a media and communications person for Yiaga Africa, and also the Sustainable Development Goals Manager. I also sit on the advisory board of the International Youth Media Summit. So it's an international organization of young people who are, filmmakers and media practitioners who are using film and other media components to, effect social change. Hopefully some of the content I would want to use is provided by them. So why media skills? Why media skills? I'm not going to bore you with too much of the definitions, what is media, what is communications. Those are little things you could just, Google and then you get it. But again, before we also begin, let's try a practical exercise. Let's try a practical exercise. So can I have 2 volunteers?
Okay, sure. Okay, sure, sir.
2 volunteers, okay. Who and who? Sorry, could you just tell me your name so that, let me just go back to the full screen.
Okay, I'm Onyechi.
Okay, Onyechi. And who's the second volunteer? Okay, I'm having problems hearing properly.
Okay, my name is Joy.
Joy or Joyce? Did you say Joy or Joyce? Joy. Okay, Joy. Okay, so I'm going to write a question. Onyechi would ask that question to Joy, and I want Joy to respond. You understand? To respond to that statement that Onyechi is going to make. Right? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the question is, there just says, they say that people in your community are not educated, so can't be governors, right? Onyechi, I want you to ask that question to Joy, and then let's see how Joy responds to that question.
Okay. Miss Joy, good morning. They say that people in your community are not educated, and so can't be governed.
Yeah.
So can't be governed.
So Joy, I want to hear your response.
Okay. Not that. I don't think that's very correct. Because yes, the rural people, they have some knowledge about policies and even there at the local level, but they get involved party application, so they are educated, and yes, if they are given opportunity, so much. What I think.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joy. So who can point out, or what do you think about Joy's response? Was that a very good response to the question?
Well, I think Joy is trying to say no or defend the community. And then with defending the community, it's giving me reasons to believe that it has to be government.
Okay. So that's good. So what do you think is wrong with your own question? Or do you think your question was fine, the question you asked Joy?
It's not complete, it's not fine. So there is no backup.
Good. So that's excellent. I mean, yes, I'm impressed. Okay. Yeah, I'm impressed with your response. Yeah, so number one, there is no backup, and by backup, I mean there is no fact to that statement. First of all, the first thing that is wrong is the word they say. Who is saying, right? We don't know who said, and even if we knew who said, is how credible is the person who is saying? Can we believe that kind of person who is saying? You understand? So that's the first part of that question that was wrong. They say that people in your community are not educated. There's no backup, there's no fact, and therefore can't be governors. Do you have proof that people in my community are not educated? And even when they're educated, who told you they have not been? Because like what Joyce said, if given the opportunity, have you given people in that community the opportunity to be governors and they didn't emerge, or the opportunity to run for office, for example, and nobody came out? Let's say, there's a call for governorship and then nobody in that community is coming out, right? So that scenario lacks facts. And to better tell your story, you need to tell a story of fact. You need to be able to tell the truth. I know one problem with development and NGOs right now is, because you want to get funders, you want to get attention, a lot of people tend to, mix fact and fallacy, mix lies, so that it just seems like, oh, it's interesting enough for us. But you want to also avoid that, because it's going to affect your credibility as an organization, and it's going to just spoil your communication. So once we can't trust what you're saying, once we can't trust what you're posting on your platforms as an organization, once we can't trust your write-ups, you understand, your credibility is a mess. And not only will that ruin your credibility, it can also impede your chances of getting that recognition, those funders, those donors that's going to help you help your community, so to say. You understand? So it's going to cause all those kind of problems for you. So let's go back to the slide. So you can see that exercise where we just used it to identify certain communication problems we might have, right? And then why do we need these skills? I mean, you can help, like I talked about, your identity, your image, your reputation is very key as an organization. So as an organization that is on the grassroots and you're just starting up, your identity is very important. Who you are is very important to us, right? It's very important to the world. We need to be sure that you're credible. Like Kingsley said, he has worked with me on in Yiaga Africa, with a lot of the stuff we did around Scrap C, and we're also part of the Not Young to Run, the Ready to Run. So you can imagine if we're having election observation, for instance, and people do not trust the organization, can we say, oh, we observed the election and we believe the election was good, was credible? Do you think people will believe us?
No.
You think so? People will believe us? I'm not getting any response.
No, sorry, the network.
Oh, you can't hear me. I said, no. Oh, okay. So I said, imagine in Yiaga Africa, for example, right? Maybe during all those accountability work around trying to stop corruption, curb corruption in our community, working around election observation, working around trying to, promote or support young people who want to run for office. And the reputation of the organization is not credible. If we go and observe an election, for example, do you think people will believe that our findings from that election is credible?
Oh.
I mean, if our image is even if we did the right thing for that election observation, if we have a bad reputation, right, we've already spoiled everything. So that is why you actually need to know how to effectively communicate within your organization. And again, your key messages. If you heard Kingsley talking, he talked about key things that you're doing. And he said, oh, maybe if you go to our Facebook now, you won't see too many things there. Part of the problem is you have the message, but you need to be able to channel it to different audiences, right? How do you communicate what you're about? You need to be able to tell people, see, look, we're here, this is what we're doing. Just the way you just pitched that to me, we're here and this is what we're doing. And also, you would be able to learn like interview practice and feedback skills. So a lot of the time, when you do what you do, some media houses will want to talk to you. You need to know how to project your organization. You yourself, you might want to also talk to people in your community. If you want to even record your impact stories, you want to talk to the people that are benefiting from your programs and say, see, what did this program do for you? You need to know how to ask key questions that can give you those results. So you need very good interview skills and also handling difficult questions. The exercise we did was to address that specifically. So that was a very difficult question. Joyce could have at first gotten angry you understand, responded with anger. But you cannot do that as an organization. You cannot do that. Even as an individual working for an organization like that, if you're working for the people, if you're working in the civil society space, in the social space, you cannot respond with anger. You need to keep your temper in check. So no matter how wrong or how difficult that question was, you need to know how to intelligently answer that question. I actually love Joyce's answer. That was very diplomatic, and that she gave you background why she doesn't think so. And her tone, her body language, her voice did not project, fight or force, which made, Yechi in turn able to receive what she was saying. That's why you could understand that, she was trying to make a case for why she thinks people in her community are educated and can be governors. You understand? And also to influence audience. We've talked about this. When you tell your story, people would, align with you. Stakeholders will align with you. And, you talked about you working on policy making too, policy briefs. You also want government to align with you, because what you do, it is the policymakers that have the ultimate power to effect those changes. So when you tell them, see, this is the problem we're facing, can you do this? You need to be able to communicate that in a way that they would understand, and they'll be able to, effect that change that you're looking for. So part of the skills, one of the skills you will be talking about today is digital storytelling. So we know, even with the pandemic, everybody went home. Like the meeting you're having now, this training you're having now is on Zoom, for example. So a lot of things have gone digital, and with the power of the internet, you can reach a lot of people. Actually, statistics have shown that with the internet, you can reach about 59 to 60% of people in the world. That's with you not even trying too hard. You understand? So you need to know how to tell a good story, a good digital story. So storytelling is very important. So first of all, then if you want to tell stories digitally, what do? We need what we call multimedia. Who can tell me what multimedia is? So I'm just going to look at multimedia, what a good story is, and some examples of a good story. So if someone can just maybe help us tell us what he or she thinks multimedia is.
Okay, from the name multimedia.
Okay.
Let's start from here is the means of communication.
Okay.
And then adding the multi
Mm-hmm.
function. If you can write with it, you can send voice messages, you can like a media that does multiple things. Just say
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. In a way, yes. That's like the half of it. But the full of it, I agree with you. Multi means all aspects, all kinds of media. So whether it's spoken, written, visual, audio, visual. So it's actually having a kind of a presentation that tends to combine the different forms of media, for example. You understand? Like what we're doing now. You're having this training. I'm talking to you. I'm interacting with you. You're seeing me. I'm seeing you, right? We're writing via the chat box, right? So we're using written forms, right? I'm showing you a presentation slide, a PowerPoint presentation slide. You understand? I'm going to show you a video. So you can see that we're using all aspects of media to tell a more strengthened story, right? So I'm just going to play a small recording for you of what multimedia is. Just hold on, sorry, give me some time. Okay, so can you see my screen? Hello?
We're with you.
Now, can you see my screen?
It's still sharing, sir.
Oh, okay. So I think there's an issue with the internet. If we can't get this to work, I'll just move on and then I'll come back to it later and show you exactly what it is. Is that okay?
Sorry?
Yeah, I said if it's still sharing and it takes too much time, we'll just continue and then I'll come back to the videos later.
Welcome.
Okay, so it's really taking a lot of time. So I think we'll just continue and come back to that later. But I really wanted to show you what that was. Well, let's see if we can get this one to work. Let's see if I can get this other video to work. Some reason I'm having issues with the videos, so we'll just continue. We'll just continue with the presentation. Then I'll try to get the videos to work. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So I wanted to show you actually like a video that tends to incorporate what multimedia is or can be, but I'll get to that because that would have actually helped you a lot. So we're just going to skip. So who can tell me what they feel a good story would entail? What do you think a good story should have? Hello? Hello?
A good story, first of all, should have introduction.
Should have what?
I think a good story should have a message.
Okay.
What the people are doing. Tell everything about what like.
So it should have a message. I heard message. What else? Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. I said that a good story should have a message about what you're doing.
Okay.
What you're saying.
Okay, thank you very much. So I agree, a good story should have a message. What do you want to say, right? We talked about your key messaging. What do you want to say? Or rather, what do you even have to say, right? So a good story will have what you have to say or what you want to say. A good story should be understandable. So, I mean, you can have what you want to say, but we don't understand what you're saying. So how do you make it understandable? If you're going to be talking to your grassroots people, for example, you can't be using big grammar. They will not understand what you're saying. True or false? So sometimes you even have to speak the local dialect. Am I correct? So it's to know the audience. See, it's as simple as even a small video you want to do with your phone can be in that native language because that is the language that they understand. That is true communication. True communication is not, blowing big grammar. It's actually coming down to the level of the people you are trying to, communicate with, or to speak with, or to interact with, or engage with. So, for example, you're in Enugu, if you're in a grassroots community that, too many people don't speak English, it's either you come down to that level to speak that language, or you get an interpreter. That's why, people, even in big organizations like the United Nations, they have interpreters. You get an interpreter that can interpret in that local language, because that's the best way people can relate with you. We relate with you with what we understand, with our own thing. So a good story should be understandable by your audience. Your audience should understand it. You should know who those audience are, and they should be able to understand that story. And again, there's a key element of a good story. It should be informational. So I should be able to learn something from your story, or at least it should be entertaining. So your story should be entertaining or very informational. I know in the development sector, we have more informational stories and materials compared to more entertainment material. But if you had seen that video, you'd have seen an example of a good multimedia story that tends to focus on entertainment in as much as it's giving you information. I'm still going to try to make sure it works. I'm still going to try to make sure it works, because it would really be nice if you can look at it. So that would have come up in the examples of a good story. I'll try to come back to it. Unfortunately, some of the videos I wanted to show you are having issues playing, maybe internet on my part or on your part, but we'll try to fix that as we go. So also another skill you should have is interviewing skills. So here we want to look at also not just your ability to interview people, but for you to even give an interview. So if you're going for an interview, what would you have to say? Who think is the basic thing you need to know about your organization before you go for an interview? That's why I see some organizations, it's not everybody that speaks. That's why you have a communications officer or manager or communications personnel. So who can tell me maybe each person can give me one thing you think you need to know if you're being interviewed now for Red Foundation? Just one each.
The first thing you know about having my mission.
You said?
The mission of Red Foundation.
Okay, that's good. Another person.
The areas of Red Foundation.
They what?
Areas of Red Foundation.
Good, exactly. That's good. Another person. Huh? I didn't get that, sorry. You need to know. Yeah, the core values. Okay, so thank you very much. Yes, so those are some of the things you need to know. You need to know about the organization. So when they say about this organization, your name, the date it was founded, your mission, your vision, core values, thematic areas, the areas you work. I know I picked from what Wayne Kingsley was talking. You worked around agriculture, good governance, education, research, policy making. So you need to know these things at your fingertips. And again, in communication, we'll get to that anyways, but again, looking at the example, the first exercise we had, when Joyce responded, you need to know how to respond in that manner. Because the truth is, these questions will not always come as friendly as you want them to come. People are going to probe, are you sure you're not eating donors' money? Even the donors themselves are probing like that. They're asking you, oh, are you sure they're really using this money for what they say they are using it for? So your ability to respond in a very calm manner is also very important. So it's first of all, you need to know these things. So it looks like you know your material. I know Kingsley talked about research. So it means on your own part, you need to have researched about, one, your organization, research about the matter you're going to be interviewed about. Say, oh, I want to ask about your grassroots education program, and we want maybe your office assistant to be the one to come and talk to us, or your office is designating somebody to go and give that interview. You need to do your research. You can't just say, okay, well, I mean, maybe I know it or I work here, I should know. Sit down and do your research. Sit down and do your research. And possibly, this is something I know, because it's virtual, we can't really practice, is to learn how to talk to yourself in front of a mirror. We probably have heard it before and we keep hearing it, but it's very, very important. It can help you watch your body movements. It can help you watch your tone, you know, how you come off, how I'm looking at you. I mean, if I was going to train, I was like this, you know, how to talk to people. You can see the mood also affects your body language, affects your delivery. So you also want to look at your delivery. So maybe quickly we'll do an exercise. I'm going to do something. I'm going to skip and go to a part of my slide. I don't know if you can still see my slide. Can you see my slide?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I'm just going to jump to this part and let's look at practical exercise 3. It says tell a photo story. I want the person before Joyce, right? The person before Joyce. Can you just raise your hand up so I just know if it's the right person? Yeah, I want you to smile. Please be happy and smile. So I want you to go first. So the practical exercise says, tell a photo story, right? There's a picture on the right, if I'm correct. Yes, right, but my own right part. I don't know if it's the right. The one with the flag. Who they are. Tell me who they are. Who you think they are. There's no right or wrong answer. That's the funny part. Who you think they are. What you think their dreams and their motivations are. And anything else interesting in the picture or about them that you can tell me. So you can speak slowly because I know I'm having internet problems, but just that, I want you to give me that delivery. Okay, you can go. So first, who are they? Oh, sorry. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Who wants to jump on it without thinking too much? See, you're not supposed to, this exercise, you're not supposed to think about it too much. Who else wants to jump on it?
Okay. Hello.
Okay, Kingsley, you can jump on it.
For instance, I can see you in the middle of the photo.
Okay.
And there are colleagues.
Okay.
There are young people.
Okay.
From different walks of life.
Okay. What do you think their dreams are? Why are they even there? Like anything I thought that you can explain from the picture.
Okay. From what I'm seeing, they are aspirational in terms of becoming the next leaders of their immediate community or the leaders of their immediate community.
Okay.
Country of origin.
Okay. Okay, so someone else should go. Thank you very much, Kingsley. I want someone else to jump on it. If possible, I want everybody to jump on it.
The campaign they are doing with the flag, don't know what the flag is about, but they are supporting whatsoever the mission of the flag is.
Okay.
So they are saying yes.
Okay. What else?
What else is that they are happy doing it? They are not doing it.
Okay, so another person, you can choose who they are, what their dreams are, or any other interesting thing.
And they can also be ambassadors.
Yeah. Ovinuchi, thank you. So the next person by your side, I want you to also give me your own opinion, what you think is going on in the picture.
Well, from the picture, I can say that kind of they came out with a campaign.
Okay, campaign, okay.
Their whole, I think,
who do you think they are?
And they are supporting the aim of why particularly type of organization.
Okay. So another person, I want another person again. If possible, if everybody can just give me two things, either who they are or what you think their dreams are. Or any other thing interesting that nobody has mentioned that you feel is worthy to note about the picture, you can tell me.
I can notice that you're the black man there.
Okay.
There are 4 guys and 1 female, yeah.
Okay.
They are all young men and youths. And
okay.
they're all celebrating something like they won a trophy, or let's say they came out victorious from doing something.
Okay. Does anybody want to go, or should I just continue from here?
I look like medical practitioners.
They look like medical practitioners.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. And you?
With the white clothes and they seem to be celebrating a campaign.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. So let me just go back to where we were. So now that exercise, the essence of that exercise is not to test whether you know exactly, if you're going to get it correctly, what exactly is happening there. So when you are faced with an interview or with a difficult question, right, about your organization or about yourself, half of the time, the things they will ask you, see, you might not have researched it. That's the truth. You might not know. So I want you, even when you, after this training, I want you to do that. Just pick, you can pick something in your house and try to, maybe I pick another photo and try to talk about it. And one thing I would have loved to see was your enthusiasm in talking about it. So you would have talked about it as if you know what you're talking about. I mean, so let me take, I don't know his name, the guy. He said, I'm the only black man there. You'd have said it confidently. That's definitely very obvious, right? So it can't be a guesswork. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So there are certain obvious things you should say, even if it's your first time. So this exercise is supposed to help you remove that fear, right? That fear of, oh, it's the first time, oh, I didn't know they were going to ask me this, so I didn't know I was going to see this, so, and then now you're seeing it. So there are certain obvious things about the picture you would have said confidently. So my aim here is also your confidence. So your confidence, either when you're speaking, your confidence in your writing, and let me tell you, it shows in your writing. Whatever you write for the organization or for yourself, it shows if you are confident writing it. There are certain choice of words you use that suggest that you're not sure. Some will suggest that you're sure. Some will suggest that, oh, you know what, even if I don't know, I'm open to knowing, to learning. You understand? So your confidence, your tone, your language would show whether it is written, whether it is visual, whether it is spoken, it will always show. That's why I just skipped and I went to that section. So it's going to help you even when you want to talk to people. Oh, you want to give an audience to the chief. Oh, do you think this, the way you ask your question will determine how they will respond. Oh, do you think this initiative has really helped your people in this community? I mean, if you ask him the question a certain way, he's not going to give you what you want. He's not going to give you the depth of what he thinks has happened. So you must always be in charge of the conversation as an organization or as a media person. You understand? So again, everything starts in your head, whether you want to write or make a film or take a picture, it's your mind, the creator, you are the creator. If you don't believe in yourself, you really cannot project anything. So you must start practicing how to talk with confidence. I know it looks like you're young. Thank God you said, oh, when you looked at the picture, there were a lot of young people. You are young and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. Like Kingsley said, a lot of young people your age do not even know what they want to do with their life now. So I'm actually excited that you're young and you're already doing this. So own it. It's not easy. This is something people who are 40 years old are beginning to learn or are trying to do, and you're probably doing it better than a lot of them. Right? So interviewing skills, you need to build confidence. That is the number one thing, both when you speak and when you're spoken to, right? We'll look at others as we're going. So also want to look at fact checking. I'll not bother reading too much of this. So, but we have disinformation, malinformation, misinformation. I know I've talked about people who mix, initially I mentioned people who mix the truth and lies, right? Some people mix the truth. Yes, a false or inaccurate. No, so you can see disinformation, intentionally giving false information. So it's either you don't want to do that, you want to avoid that in your organization because it can ruin your reputation. So it's something you should take note of. And then there's also what we call malinformation. When you try to manipulate, maybe you know something secret about somebody or something that can really destroy somebody or another organization, and you want to use that as a tool. Very bad. Again, it can destroy your reputation and your credibility. And then there's misinformation. So when you give a false or inaccurate information, you know it's too small, so people would not notice it. So you just mix it, sugarcoat it. You also want to avoid that. And if I check in, this is just something that will help you, right? With the advent of WhatsApp and all these platforms, we see a lot of things and we share a lot of things. It's not everything you share. As an organization, your platforms are sacred ground. It's not just anything or anyone that should be sharing things on your platform. It's a sacred ground. And before you share anything, you want to ask yourself, if you're not the creator, I'm an advocate for original content. So I believe you should generate your own contents. You should write your stuff. You should take your pictures. You should make your videos. But if you must share something that is not originally yours, you want to verify the information there, because once it gets to your platform, it is your responsibility. We're going to see that, oh, it is Red Foundation that put it out. You understand? So want to, first of all, confirm the source. Where is it coming from? You want to check the facts. So I put a website that you can use to check facts if it is true, especially since we're in the African region, right? It's called africacheck.org. So you can just write it down. You can use to check whether it's a written document. You can check facts. But I mean, a simple Google search actually can help you confirm a source. And like I said, it's not because of it is on the internet. There's something I tell people. It's not everything that is on the internet that is true. Anybody can put anything on the internet. And if you Google search, you see it. So because it's on the internet does not make it true. Because it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, does not make it true. Oh, because of your mother or your teacher shared it on WhatsApp does not make it true. You are professionals now. It is your duty as communication experts. I mean, everybody in the development sector is a communication expert, trust me. Because one wrong statement can destroy all you've been working for, even if it's not from the communications officer. One wrong statement can destroy everything. So you really need to comport yourself and watch what you share. So before you share, you want to look at who made it. Where is the source? What is this source? Who is saying what? Where did it come from? And you yourself, why are you sharing it? Is it even relevant to your organization? Or is it relevant to you as a person? And then when was this information gotten? We know that something that was true 2 years ago might not be true today. Initially, they said the earth was flat. Now the earth is round. So you want to also look at when was this information given? Is it relevant? The information may have changed. Before, nobody in your community, maybe nobody in your community went to school before, as at 2020. But in 2021, we now have 500 educated people. It is going to be wrong to come and say, you know, my community doesn't have educated people, so I want funds to go and do education programs. False news. If we check, you have a problem as an organization. You understand? And then you need communication skills. I mean, everything we're talking about is even communication skills in its way. But let me even just take this out. So there are 4 components, right? Listening, speaking, writing, reading. Or no need, it's already there. The most important part of these 4 is your listening skills. Your ability to listen. You can apply this even in your interview skills. Either you're interviewing or being interviewed. You understand? So your same pointers there, make eye contact. I mean, it's not like you're going to stare at the person as if you want to kill the person, but you know, every now and then, make eye contact. So what eye contact does is it shows that you're confident and you want to be confident. So you want to try and make eye contact. You cannot put your heads down and be timid. No, timidity is not allowed, right? You're doing great work. You should be proud of it. So you should be confident. So try from time to time to make eye contact. Don't interrupt when someone else is talking. I mean, these are obvious things you probably know by now. No. And then there's something again I want you to do. Try to visualize and feel what the speaker is saying. When someone is saying, maybe you ask a question, or you're asking that young child, would you like the fact that we're bringing education to your community and he's speaking in Igbo and he's telling you, you know, I'm trying to speak the little Igbo I know. You know, I like Remia, well, I don't know if I'm murdering the language, but you want to feel how that child is feeling. That will help you tell a better story. So if you're going back to say and write about the work we did, how a 3-year-old girl was impacted by Red Foundation in Enugu State. If you the moment you put yourself in that little child's self, when you were asking that question, you write a better story. You write a better story. But if you were just detached from it, your story is going to be very blank and it will have no emotion and would feel nothing. I mean, you're talking about a 3-year-old girl who just got educated because of your initiative. So you want to put yourself in that person's shoe. The rest, I'm going to leave it for you. So we have the reading skills. Of course, we've heard leaders are readers. Read wide to expand your scope. So don't say, I mean, you're having this training, communication training. You're not all the communication officers, but it's very relevant to you. So don't say because, oh, it's not my specialty, it's not my job description, so I would not know it, or so it's not relevant to me. You need to open your mind and read wide. You need to want to know, ask your colleague, oh, how do they write a proposal? How do you do FOI? I know they are separate. I mean, the training on FOI is on a different level. How do you write FOI? How do you write policy briefs? How do you write even a simple letter to your lawmaker or to community chief or to the Igwe or to the council of chiefs, right? You want to know all that. It might not be your job description. Maybe you want to talk to the communication officer. You want to talk to your executive director. Oh, how do we do this? And you can see on the top here, you can see writing, very important. And I want you all to check out what they call Grammarly. It helps check your grammatical errors, punctuation.
Sorry, we didn't get that.
Grammarly, it's okay, it's not even written here. Grammarly, Grammarly. Just Google search Grammarly. So what you can do is you can either type directly in Grammarly or you can just upload your document and it just, your Word documents, and it just points out some punctuation mistakes, right? So you can do that as a first step editing, because as an organization, you cannot afford to make grammatical errors in your written work. Both even the little 2-line post for Facebook or for Twitter or for anywhere you're posting your social media platforms, you cannot afford to make mistakes. So especially your communications person, before you even edit, as an editor, as a communication person, you're an editor, right? Before you look at, oh, where's the mistake? You know, it's not just punctuation or grammar, it's flow. You run it through Grammarly and then you do a second edit. It helps. Because you want your content, and now they are software. So just try that software, it helps a lot. I'm going to try to be fast. I think we've even spent a lot of time. I've talked about know your audience, so I don't want to overflog this, but it's very important. So again, whether it's written content, whether it's pictures, whether it's video, know your strengths. I know people do a lot. I like how Kingsley explained certain key thematic areas that caught my attention. I mean, he started with saying agriculture and food security. See, very important. My project last year with IYMS was on hunger. So you can imagine trying to create a film online with different people in different parts of the world, and then you're shooting different parts and trying to edit it to make one, and then worked on, you know, food security. So you can't say, oh, we're communication people, oh, we're media people, and then we couldn't work on that. Everything is tied together. And as communicators or as media and communication experts, it is your duty to make everything make sense. Is it COVID? Is it health? It is you that would make us understand what is going on or the solution to it. So everybody in the organization must be good communicators. And you want to clarify your objective, right? What are you about? I mean, we've said this over and over again, so I'm not just going to flog it. We've talked about defining your target audience. Who is your message for? So for example, especially your communications person and then Kingsley, you should note this. There are certain write-up you write that is for the general public. We understand that. You want everybody to understand this, to enjoy this. We know that. There are certain things you write or you film or you do communication-wise that is for your donors or founders. Kingsley should understand, because I'm sure you do reports and send to your founders, right? So you want to know how do you write those things for them. It's different. Maybe there you want to use certain terminologies. There you want to use that's where you want to pour your big grammar, what you know, right? And then there are certain things you do for your benefactors, the people that are benefiting from your program, certain write-ups that it's for them. That is where we have things like, so this is part of a strategy you want to do. So, oh, you've been able to help them in the community. Let's say, let's pick a topic now. Oh, you talked about sensitization against to vote or against corruption, and you want to tell them, and you're in that community. You want to do English version, Pidgin version, and Igbo version, right? You want to do all those ones and put there and put in that community, because when I go to the town square, I don't want to be seeing big grammar. I want to see maybe Pidgin or the Igbo version of it, right? And then it's not every time you want to say everything one time. Like this training now, I'm trying to do an overview of communications anyways, but these things can be broken down into separate trainings, from photography to filmmaking to writing to speaking to even the interview part we talked about. So it's not every time you want to say everything at once. There's time for everything. You can just pick out, okay, today, what do we want to say? Let's say this week. Let's say this month. Or about this project. Maybe today we want to tell them about Red Foundation. Tomorrow, since they now understand what Red Foundation is, we now want to tell them what we do. You want to break it down into sections and give it to the public. So that way we can digest what you're saying. And we can follow. It's like a journey. If you see, you say, know your audience, it's a journey. You need to be able to take us on that path, right? So I'll just quickly leave this and go to presentation skills. So when I was talking about, you don't have to be laid back, you want to show confidence. You can see that from these infographics there, you can see non-verbal communication is the most important form of communication. It takes 55% of entire communication, non-verbal. Then your voice, how you say it. I mean, you can't speak to yourself, you're speaking to the public. You understand? So if we understand, I enjoyed Kingsley's pitch, and I deliberately said he should give that brief overview before we even began, because it's very important for this part, an elevator pitch. And I want another person to do an elevator pitch before we continue. I think we're almost even done. And I'll see if I can play the video again before we go. So I need a volunteer to do an elevator pitch for me. So basically what it is, as you can see here, you just have to tell me a background experience, who you are, what you do, right? And how... Oh, okay. I said I want a volunteer, right? Can you hear? Can you hear me? Hello? Let me see if I can. Yeah. I said I want a volunteer, right, to do an elevator pitch for me. It doesn't have to be as long as 30 minutes. It shouldn't be even up to a minute, right? All the person has to do is tell me who they are, what they do, right? And what you do, how it helps the community. Is that simple? And you want to do that in, I mean, less than a minute anyways. Who wants to go?
Okay. My name is Joy, and rural. Okay, sorry, I didn't get it correct for now. And the advocacy officer of according to my portfolio, I advocate based on our core operational agriculture and food security, education, and research and documentation and so as an advocacy officer, it's obvious that in Nigeria we are not
just start?
Yeah. Oh. So can another person try too?
My name is Ovinuchi Ejiohuo. The Red Foundation, I double as the project officer and M&A officer. In my position here as project officer, I make sure that we have a project license where we have to put down the objective of each project and then put down measures to monitor to make sure that we are achieving those by measuring impact at every stage, so that we don't just have a project and at the end of it, don't even know if we can attain the objective. And then when it comes to the measurement and the monitoring and evaluation, work hand in hand. So in the monitoring, gather data from the activities we've done, those that participated, how satisfied are they? Are they happy with the service? Are they happy with the programs that we've done? Are they happy with things we've done in the community? Then we can also say, okay, yes, we have done something good, and then we can track impact with those data that we have gathered, and that's what I do in
Okay. Thank you very much. That was good. So I can already see improvement in your confidence, right? In the way you say what you do. I don't know if someone else wants to try again, or if we should just continue. Does anyone wants to try? Because see, with communications, it's practice. You need to be want to do. You can't just, it's not about, it's not about writing down all the points or it's actually doing. So yeah, I want her to do the lady in white. That lady in white, yes, I want her to do. So don't forget, be confident, be natural, you're having a conversation. Forget that I'm here. I've even put off my camera, so you can't even see me. I can't see you, I can hear you. So if that makes you more comfortable. Okay. Sorry, let me stop you before you start. So body language, right? We said non-verbal communication is 55%. I don't sit upright. Your voice, I'm hearing this. Oh, do you know what I'm hearing in your voice? It's like, oh, I'm the youngest, I shouldn't be here. Everybody knows what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I'm hearing from your voice. Honestly. And that's what we're here to fix. That's not the case. You are here. Speak like, see, look at it this way, that you have an awesome privilege that if you are the youngest person, I don't know if you're the one that is the youngest, but if you're the youngest person, it means you must have done something right, or there's something special about you to be here. Speak like that kind of person. Speak like the person who has the power. So I don't want you to speak like just use that. Be more confident. I want you to be more confident. Use your body posture. Please let it be. You're a strong woman. It's all about women empowerment now. So I need you to be one of those women that will save the world. And then your voice. It's not even about, content is 7%. It's not about the things you're saying. Yes, the things you're saying should be important too, but it's not about that. It is first about your non-verbal communication. Then it's about your voice. I want to feel power in your voice. I want to feel strength in your voice. I want to feel intelligence in your voice, like someone who is intelligent, who knows what she's talking about. So can we try that?
My name is Ovinuchi Ejiohuo. I'm the welfare officer of social engagement and development. My concern is to make sure my duty is about the welfare of the community.
Is that all?
To improve, make sure.
Okay. Okay, you tried. It's better than before, but it can still be better. I want the last girl, the last lady, to try for us. She also has been a little bit quiet.
My name is I'm the officer of engagement and development I did here ensure that everything is in straight. And this office is organized, well organized, both people here and the things we have here. And it's something taking it to the community. I ensure that the things in the community or what is done in the community is done accordingly. And the way it's supposed to.
Okay, thank you very much. So that was also good. So you all did well. So again, one thing I want you to note too when you're doing an elevator pitch. So now what this helps you do. So imagine you meet a potential funder, right? Imagine you meet a potential funder. The person doesn't know you, so I won't give you all my time. You have about less than a minute. So why they call it elevator pitch is pretend you're in an elevator. Before you get to the next floor, as you enter from the ground floor, you should be able to sell yourself to a potential funder who doesn't know you, who doesn't even want to listen to what you have to say. So it's simple. Oh, good day, ma, or good day, sir. My name is so and so. You might not know me, but I know you as the so and so person. I'm so and so for so and so organization. We walk around doing this. We've seen that your organization, works in line with what we do on this area, and you have some opening for this. And we're seeing how we can, partnership with you to, create more impact and make what we both want to achieve a reality. It's that simple. Since you do not have any time, is it possible to get your contact so we can continue this conversation somewhere else? It could be on social media, it could be their phone. Most people are not comfortable giving out their phone numbers to strangers. Like, okay, or your email address, so I send you an email and we can continue this conversation. You can see this is less than how many seconds? The conversation has begun, it has ended. So as a starting up organization, you need to be able to sell yourself. That's what matters. Oh, I get into a room full of potential, business partners or NGO partners. What are you going to do? I'm not going to talk for you. I've given you the opportunity. You're there now. What can you say? Oh, I meet one of these young ladies on the road. I'm like, you work for Red Foundation. Really? So what have you guys been up to? Opportunity to sell the organization. Oh, we've been doing this, or recently we did this, that. So you want to tell us, oh, this is what we did, this is the impact of what we're doing, this opening where, if you have any way you can support us or any way we can collaborate, because people like collaborations, do let us know. We're open to your review. You could come by. If you want more information, I could direct you to our website, or I could send you an email, or can I have your email address? This is networking and connection, because that you need communication to be able to network and connect, because that's what will grow the organization. I'm sure your executive director did not sit down in the office and then all those projects came and met him. He either wrote proposals or he talked to some people. I mean, that's why I'm here. He spoke to me, and then he made his case like, oh, this is what I want. And he presented it in a very good way, a strong presentation. I was like, you know what, I buy in. Let's do this. Sometimes he can even give you opportunities without you having to pay for it. I mean, the training is not paid for, but I'm like, oh, it's happening because of how he was able to present. So you can see a poor presentation is a sign of weakness, and you cannot be weak. It's a sign of weakness and lack of preparation. And as an organization, you cannot be caught in that manner. So let's just try and also round up. We've talked about this picture, so no need to look at that. So again, I want you to invest in a media team. So that's a very good communication strategy. You want to invest in a media team. I know it's only one, I don't know if it's just one communication person that is there, but for a starting up organization, you need to be able to do a lot. I mean, I did communication, I did SDGs for Yiaga Africa. I do a lot. I do stuff related to health and sciences. I do science communication. You are young and you're talented. I'm sure all of you there can do more than one thing. So for now, yes, it's good to specialize. And as you expand, those roles will be more specialized. But for now, you should be able to do more. So all I'm saying is you can support the media department, because he's going to be telling, or she is going to be telling the story of the organization. And you don't want to be left out. So you can strengthen that. And also, I know Kingsley mentioned something about, oh, maybe your Facebook is not that what's the word now? Maybe there's nothing there. You're not really telling your story there. What I'll advise is when you create, whether it's picture or video or written content, I think you should invest in an editorial calendar. So, or what they call a content calendar. But before, I'll show you a sample and I'll send it to Kingsley so that you can use that. You can edit it. It's on Excel. I'll send it later, but I'll show you a sample. But now I know you're just starting up and you cannot invest in large camera or large equipment. But even with your mobile phone, a very good mobile phone anyways, nowadays people have very nice smartphones. You can take very good pictures or videos or interviews. But these are just some pointers that will help you. So when you're shooting, if you want to make it look as professional as possible with a mobile phone, you want to be able to hold your camera like this. See, like this. When you take the picture, please take it like this. When you do the video, please take it like this. This is what we call landscape mode. Please don't shoot like this. Because when you shoot like this, you know what happens? You know those videos you're watching and you're seeing black bars at the edges and it's just long like this, just going to look ugly on people's computer. So you want to shoot like this and it mimics a proper camera. And because of you're using a mobile phone, if you're going to maybe interview people, because as an organization, you need to be able to interview people, get those stories from them. Either videos you put out or things you can transcribe into written form. So wherever you go, oh, there's a nice story about you people that is happening. Oh, what do you think about Red Media Foundation and what we're doing here? Put the camera in front of them. So you want to use a place that has good lighting. Sunlight, daylight is better, or close to a window if it's indoor interview with your phone. And the place needs to be quiet, of course, because you're not using big equipment. So it's just trying to leverage media as you are without spending all the money in the world. You don't have to spend all your donors' money on getting gadgets. But I mean, which is still good if you can get those equipment. But as you're starting out, you don't have to wait for when you can afford those things to start shooting. So again, remember, you want to shoot like this. And you want to start shooting videos. You want to start taking pictures and shooting videos. These are good. It even looks good in your report. So imagine you're having reports and there are pictures to show. Oh, went to this community, you have the pictures, right? So you want to invest in that. You go to this community, you want to take pictures. I don't know, Kingsley, you know how we're always shouting about how people should document your stories and send to us. Then your communications guy can now expand on it to have a robust, better, a full story from those contents. So this is called content creation and you need it. All of you can create that content because you don't know where you'll be tomorrow. You know, you're there and then somebody decides to talk to you or you decide to talk to somebody and your communication officer is not there. You can't let that opportunity pass by. Oh, he's not around and someone comes to the office and the person is very reputable. You want to take a picture too. You understand? And then that can form a full story. See, you can get your story from anywhere. I wish the internet was not misbehaving. I would have been able to show you like very, very motivational pieces that would have helped you. But you want to do that. And let me just quickly show you guys what the content editorial calendar would looks like. I would send you a copy after this training. So this is on Excel. You can expand. There are different templates. If you Google search, you're going to see a template, right? But this one can help you. As you can see on this column, there's dates. So you want to do this. It can help you post regularly on your platforms. There is days of the week. If you want to be posting every Monday or Wednesdays or Thursdays or Fridays, just as you like, you can put it there. Twitter post. So you can even already create the posts. So you can have a 1 week plan or a 2 weeks plan or a 1 month plan to say, okay, you know what? Every Monday we're going to post maybe staff of the week or Monday motivations. I think whatever you want to call it is your content. But if you have it here, whoever is in charge can just come and pick it. And then you can put even who is going to post it. I know that column is not here, but you can create that column. Who is in charge of it if it is more than one person. But if it's just one person that is handling your communication, then the person is in charge. Because the person can also look at it. It must not be from him. You can say, oh, look, communications guy or communications girl, I think this is a very good story about our organization we should put out. You discuss it, he discusses it with the ED or whoever is in charge and say, you know what, this can fly. You put it here. And then the person looks at it and say, you know what, let's edit it. Is the grammar okay? Can we rephrase this write-up? See, the same thing happened there, character counts, you probably might not need this one. Or you might need it because sometimes Twitter takes a certain number of characters, so you want to also track that. If there's an image you want to go with it, you can put the image here. So when the person comes and say, okay, Tuesday we're posting this, so he just goes there, pick the write-up, pick the image, put it there, and put the link. If it's a link to your story, let's say someone writes a story about you, you say, you know what, they published that story today, Friday, and we want to allow that story go out on Monday. You just come and say, okay, we'll put the link to the story here. We'll put an image from the story here, or our own image if you like. We'll write something about it and put it here. So on Monday, we come and we'll just pick it and post. It's not Monday we'll start thinking, what are we going to write? How should it look? You understand? The same thing you can do with your Facebook post, Instagram post, and so on and so forth. You can just keep expanding this document. You understand? You can keep expanding this document. So I just wanted to show you that this can help you regularly post, because you need to regularly be in people's face so that they know that, oh, we're here and we're doing something. So I will send that to you later. And also, you know, in your media team, you want to look at infographics. Like I said, you need to start making videos. That's why I told you, even if it's to start with your phones and see how it goes, find someone who can edit. There are a lot of mobile apps that can help you with little productions that you can do. You have to start using images. Even when you write a news story that you want to put on Facebook or on your website, you should go with an image, because research has showed that write-ups with images do better than just you writing and there's nothing there. So you want to also invest in that. And finally, I know you already talked about you using Facebook, so that's good, because globally is ranked as one of the most engaging sites. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you can find a lot of people on Facebook. So there's a full community there you can leverage on. But again, you need to regularly post. YouTube too for your videos. YouTube for your videos. And I'm actually still very available if you want me to, you know, put you through, oh, say we have this video, how can we make it better? Or look at it, do you think it's good to go out? I can help you review it to say, you know what, can you add this here? Can you do this here? I can help with all that for nothing. I mean, that's why we're here. WhatsApp, I'm sure people use WhatsApp in your organization for your meeting. So you can even have a WhatsApp meeting, honestly. I'm sure you have WhatsApp group for the teammates. You use it for communication. Yeah, so you know all that. I don't know if you have Instagram. Sometimes it can be very overwhelming for your communications team, right? It can be very overwhelming. Don't worry, we're at the end. So I know you're tired. It's almost an hour. We're at the end, and unfortunately, yeah. So I know they are tired. I mean, I've been in the training before, and I know how it's.
They're saying they're not tired.
You know, even when people say they are not tired, they are tired. So let me. I really. No, of course you don't want to say you're tired, but I mean, you should be free. Like I said, confidence. You can say we're tired too, so we know, like, if we have like 4 minutes or 5 minutes more to go. But I'm still trying to find. I'm trying to find that video. Really, I think it's going to be very useful. Let me see. But basically, in terms of use of yeah. Hello.
What if you maybe give us the name of the video? Yeah, I said.
Oh, okay. It's just Guinness advert. It's a Guinness advert, and I just wanted to show you.
What if you Google?
Ambassador unveiling. It's so sad. Let me see. I'll post the link, right? Let me post the link on the chat box.
Sure.
I'll post the link on the chat box, okay, and then you can look at it. Well, basically, these are platforms you can look at. I personally like LinkedIn. I don't know if you all are on LinkedIn and if you have an organizational post on LinkedIn. Maybe Kingsley, you should start with that. You can open a LinkedIn account, a personal LinkedIn account, then open a page. So you have like an organizational page, right? And then if your communications person has a LinkedIn account, you can make him an admin so he can also post there, the way they do with Facebook and all that. But LinkedIn is more professional. You can see it here too, also here. And usually people used to use Skype for video interviews and presentations like this. But now, I mean, Zoom came. Zoom has been there anyways, but the pandemic made it very popular. So you also want to know how to use Zoom. I mean, you're using it now, so obviously, yes, you're doing that. So basically, that is that. So you want to have a plan. I don't know what the skill set in terms of writing or filmmaking or photography is for your team members. Do you have people who know how to do that or who are learning how to do that?
Yeah, actually, so far I'm observing some of the girls can actually do good works on photography.
Okay.
And myself, I'm also good in photography, but I don't want to always be the one on the line. I want other persons to replicate what I can actually do. So that's it. Yeah. So we are honest enough to say we need to start over again.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Like I said, start small. You have gadgets. You have your phones. I don't know if you saw it on my page. I know a while ago when I went to Nepal, I went with just my phone, this phone, right? I took pictures with my phone and I created a photo book from that. You won't imagine, like a professional photo book from just my phone pictures. From just my phone pictures. I don't know if I can find the link, but if I do, I'll send to Kingsley, then he can share with you all. A full-fledged photo book.